when challenges hit us, and it's one of those that just knocks the crap out of us, rather than jumping immediately to solutions and I got to figure this out and we got to fix this problem, to pause and go, okay, what mindset is going to help me do that? Hey everybody, welcome to the Leader Lab. This is Leadership Shorts, quick thoughts to help you level up your leadership. My name is Chad Wright. I'm the founder of Forward Partners, and I am joined as always by my partner in podcasting, Emily Grace Deal. I was disappointed last episode you didn't say I'm Emily Grace Deal.
Oh, I don't normally say all of my name.
I know I don't know why in episode 1 that came out of my mouth, and it has been that way every single time.
I like it. It makes me feel special.
Emily Grace Deal. I had somebody literally the other day I met for the first time. They're like, I was hoping to meet Emily Grace Deal.
Yeah, they probably.
I laughed that they used all 3 names.
People are gonna think that I go by Emily Grace. I do not. No.
All right, Emily Grace Deal. What are we talking about today?
We got a long quote today.
Okay, let's dig into it.
It's a good one. All right. You need to learn how to select your thoughts just the same way you select your clothes every day. This is a power you can cultivate. If you want to control things in your life so bad, work on the mind. That's the only thing you should be trying to control. Said by Elizabeth Gilbert.
I love that.
Me
and
too.
Shout out to your mom who sent this to you.
She found this one.
Love that mom's still engaged with the podcast. I'm not sure if mine's still listening. I'm going to have to ask her. I'm going to see her this weekend for Mother's Day. I'm going to ask her.
Yeah, that's a good time to do that.
I love, hey mom, happy Mother's Day. You been watching the podcast lately? It's going to be a great day for her. I love this quote because, last episode we talked about how powerful a morning routine can be. Mm-hmm. And I think one of the things we're trying to create through that morning routine is that mindset, right?
Definitely.
If we show up with an optimistic mindset, a positive mindset, we're going to find more optimism and more things to be positive about. Mm-hmm. If we show up negative, we're going to find negativity, and we're going to go down that road. And so it matters deeply because I love what she says here, that work on the mind. That's the only thing you should be trying to control.
Yeah.
Our mindset determines so much. It doesn't determine what happens to us. Those are the uncontrollable circumstances we talk about that drag us into burnout, right?
Right.
It determines how we see them.
Yeah. Our reaction to them.
What is our perspective going to be, right? Based on mindset. Are we reacting very explosively because we're in a negative mindset? Or are we responding patiently and with grace and with determination because we've done the work to set that positive mindset? It's such important work, but it's work that I think, again, we talk about how our task list doesn't have room for humanity. This is one of those things that we desperately need.
Right.
I think one of the things to think about with this is really that it's a practice. You were talking about your morning routine last time and how it's been a journey. It's a practice, right? It is, I know what to do. Yeah. But doing it consistently,
well,
it's a day-to-day
I know
thing.
that there's not some point where I'm like, well, I have successfully made all of the changes I do to have the perfect morning routine. Like this, I have now established exactly what this looks like. And it changes. Like you may find the perfect thing and then it no longer works for you.
It's a journey and a practice, and mindset is exactly the same way. I know how to show up as a healthy leader. I know the frameworks. I know we've created all of this to say, here's how to do it. Not lack of knowledge is not my problem. It's doing the practice, the work of pulling those tools out and using them, setting that mindset every single day. And it is a practice, despite knowing it, despite teaching it, despite doing it pretty well, pretty consistently. Right. There are still seasons where I kind of get knocked down.
Yeah, because you can know the obvious things to do. You can know the things, well, if I do X, Y, and Z, then my day will be better. Yes. Well, sometimes it's harder to wake up and do all of those things, even if you know it will give you a better outcome.
It really is. And one of the ways that this helps us, there's the beginning of the day, kind of creating your mindset and saying, how am I going to show up today? What version of me needs to show up? We talk about those questions. What am I committed to creating today, and what version of me needs to show up to fulfill those commitments? Right. A lot of that comes from mindset. But the other way this really helps us beyond just the beginning of the day is really when we get knocked down. Mm-hmm. When challenges hit us, and it's one of those that just knocks the crap out of us. Rather than jumping immediately to solutions and I got to figure this out and we got to fix this problem, to pause and go, okay, what mindset is going to help me do that? Mm-hmm. Resetting your mindset is so challenging. And this was last year. I think I've referenced this quite a few times, but last year when Rebecca was knocked down. Last year when Rebecca was diagnosed with cancer, knocked us both down. I mean, just knocked the crap out of us. And it was funny to me how fast I spiraled and how quickly I got into, I got to fix this mode. And I quickly realized that wasn't working. I didn't have what it took to really do that. And so I immediately stopped and focused on mindset. And for me, that was a matter of pulling out my green light habits, looking at them and going, I don't want to do any of this.
Right, and you didn't need to fix it.
Yeah,
right?
I didn't need to fix it. I just needed to get my mindset right to start to explore and start to learn. That was not my mindset in the moment. But pausing, pulling out my green light habits, calling people in my circle, engaging my circle, my coaches, my mentors to say, I need help.
Well, that's what they're there for. Maybe you don't know what you need.
They're the 911 system. And I was able to get perspective. I was able to get my mindset focused right back where it needed to be. And we were okay after that. We navigated a really hard season really successfully. But it was a challenge. But, man, without that pause to get that mindset right, it was not going well. I think that day started with us sitting in a meeting and me going, I think we should just shut the company down. I don't want to do this anymore. I hate everything. Everything is bad. And you're like, slow down. And I reached out to them. We had some good conversations, got perspective. By the end of the day, I was like, okay, company's good. We're going to go deal with cancer over here. We got all this together.
It's like
we got it figured out.
The right tool for the job metaphor, you know?
Yes.
Like using a hammer when you needed a screwdriver or whatever that may be.
That's exactly right. And I needed that mindset kind of reset. And so I engaged the tools that did that. So mindset is so powerful. It really determines whether or not we're going to be successful. And we talked about creating a definition for success. If the mindset's not lined up with that as well, it's not going to happen.
Right.
This is such a big one. And again, it's a pretty simple one. But at the end of the day, we don't do it very well. And so that's part of where we can engage with that morning routine, that definition of success.
Right. Well, and that's where like adapting that definition of success, like whenever you know, we talked about having a modified morning routine for when you have modified mornings.
Yes.
That's the same with the success. You just have to figure
really
out, even in that morning, you could be like, okay, well, normally my definition of success is doing these 5 steps.
I think you may have just written a future episode of the show because we have, we're going to co-create the definition of success. Oh no, this brand new challenge just hit and blew everything up. Are we still going to try for that same definition?
Right.
It's going to be a good episode, I can tell. All right, leaders, let's talk next steps. Your mindset is going to determine so much. It is a superpower to be able to set your mindset every day, to be able to decide, how am I going to show up? It starts in the morning, okay? It starts with that solid morning routine. Do things that orient you towards health, that get your mindset right, to show up as the version of you need to. And man, when you get knocked down, when something really hits you, to pause rather than jumping instantly into solving problems, pause and get your mindset right. What is that optimistic, that positive mindset that's going to help you go find the right solutions and navigate a challenging situation in the best way possible? Being able to set that is a gift. It's one we got to take advantage of. We got to be intentional. Emily, thanks for bringing this quote. If people want to send us more quotes, send us more ideas that we can wrestle through, where do they send that to?
To lab@forwardpartners.net.
Lab@forwardpartners.net. If they want to find content that we're putting out all the time around mindset and leadership, on Facebook, on LinkedIn, on Instagram, where do they find that?
Words @Forward Partner. You can go look up @Forward Partner.
You can look up don't look up words at Forward Partner.
Don't look up lab.
Look up @Forward Partner. It's been a long day. This is episode 117. We are rolling through these. We're having a fun time, though.
@Forward Partner.
@Forward Partner on all the major social platforms. Thank you, Emily, for doing this.
Thank you.
Thank you, John, for producing. Thank you for watching and listening. Almost said reading. Thanks for that as well. Thanks for sharing this with fellow leaders. We will see you next time in the Leader Lab for Leadership Shorts.